Hello, and welcome to our newest educational series on the court systems in Fayette County, Kentucky. This week we'll be covering the role of the victim's advocate within the court system. Some of you may wonder the actual role of the victim's advocate or haven't even heard of this role before. The victim's advocate is responsible for providing victims of crime their basic rights. They will accompany the victims to court, and they will assist and explain the judicial process as they go along. Here's an image of our advocates at the Commonwealth's Attorney Office in Fayette County. So one of the main responsibilities of the victim's advocate is to make sure that the victims receive their basic rights. And one of those main rights is that they receive notification for the arrest and release of the defendant, that they receive case information upon request, that they will receive notification on all court dates, that they will hear of any plea bargain agreements within this trial, that they will receive a final case disposition, will hear of any parole hearings, and that they are notified of the appeal of conviction. All of this information and more can be found in the Guidebook for Crime Victims, which is distributed to all victims who come through our office. This specific list can be found on page 2. Along with basic notifications, victims of crime also have the right to protection from intimidation, that any lost property during a robbery is returned, that they receive a secure waiting area during the trial, that they can receive referral information should they need further assistance such as financial assistance, that they receive and will fill out a victim impact statement which will document their experience throughout the crime, and that will then be distributed to all parties within the trial. They will also receive restitution, and this will be covered in our terminology and vocabulary. So for those who don't know, a plea bargain is when the defendant will admit to a crime for a lesser punishment. This is very popular in television shows and in movies. A disposition is the way in which a case is handled or resolved, and this can range anywhere from a dismissal of the trial to an actual conviction. A parole hearing is when the offender is released from prison and is under the supervision of a parole officer. And this will include limitations such as curfews and distance. Generally, they cannot leave the state. And also restitution, which is any dollar amount that the judge requires the defendant to pay to the victim after insurance is distributed. A good example of this is if damage is done to a vehicle after insurance, then restitution will be set. So if you're interested in becoming a victim's advocate or considering a change in career, a victim's advocate must have a bachelor's degree in social work or in any human resources field, such as psychology, counseling, education, religion, criminal justice, or any related degree. They must have 2 years' experience working in either human services or within the court system, and they must have a good moral character. Remember, you're dealing with victims of crime. We offer internships here in our office where you can get on-site experience with our attorneys as well as with our victims advocates. These internships provide you with on-site experiences and can give you a promising start to your career. That concludes our segment on the victim's advocate. Should you have any further questions or you wish to contact us, we would love for you to visit our website at lexingtonprosecutor.com. We also have a Facebook page at facebook.com/RayTheDA. In our next episode, we'll be discussing legal terms and vocabulary. What do all these words mean?